if they did something like this, that would be really cool if they did something like that. At least for Final Fantasy XIV. I don't give a shit about WoW. I just realized I had to throw a couple photos up in Discord. No, dude. Mark, you are not. I am right there with you. I am terrible at social media. I think they'll have to do that soon because they don't want to rescale. Yeah, I wouldn't want to rescale either, honestly. I think level 100 is a good level to max it off at, and then they should look into something like this with the masteries and stuff. Now, is she further? Is she up? Oh, God, they do not make this very easy to see and know this.
I see you're on your feet.
That I am.
I think we're ready for some proper introductions. Dagda Commander, Commander Dagda. She helped Mabon heal me when I first got here. You should have seen me. I was a mess.
Dagda?
Commander. I apologize for my hostility at our first meeting.
I understand.
You did not deserve my ire, but I maintain my caution. We don't know you.
I was pulled into that rift. I'm happy to help Zoja. To help you. But this was not my choice.
Nor was it mine.
Exactly, Merc.
You're still feeling grumpy. Let's not get distracted.
I say that all the time,
from
too.
The end goal here, to stop the Cryptus. And, well, we need all the help we can get.
This is true.
Frode was looking for you, Commander. Why don't you track him down?
Played a game where the max level was 140. There's a system in game where you reset your level by rebirth to get your base stats stronger. You can have a total of 2 rebirths each, starting back at level 15, and you being able to choose what class you are reborn into. Leveling was... Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Does that make you angry?
Does what make me angry?
The fact that everyone doesn't immediately bathe in your excellence.
They don't know me. Neither do you.
But I'm starting to. And I don't think you liked that very much.
Yeah, it's very weird. My wife doesn't get it too much. She didn't like Game of Thrones, not her type of entertainment. Dude, to be fair, the story in and of itself was good, but there was way too much massively unneeded sex in that show. Way too much. Most of the rest of the seasons were on the verge of soft porn. The first season was borderline on hardcore porn. It was awful. I was embarrassed watching it, but I enjoyed the story. I watched all the seasons, and I won't watch it again. And violence? Oh, I'm not worried about the violence. Say to her so she doesn't... Though she's seen the memes. Got it. That voice is not ominous at all. No, yeah, I know. Well, we've just now gotten a name for that voice, but we don't know anything about that voice. I feel like Game of Thrones was borderline. It really was, Shiro. It really was. It was. Yeah. I feel like Martin wasn't hugged enough as a child. I mean, too many women rejected him. The man is. Dude, seriously? Yeah. I never read the book, but I have that distinct feeling that the book would not be as graphic, I guess, as I feel like it wouldn't be as graphic as the show was. Then he had the absolute gall to say he couldn't make Lord of the Rings better than that he could. Yeah, right. Okay.
Frode and Yuno are inside.
Urchik is terribly concerned with Lear's... Pardon, Urchik, but Lear's stuffiness. Palladium agrees with Skrit.
Dagda's doing better. If I was still a shaman, I'd owe you a blessing.
Oh, I saw. Still less than thrilled to see me.
Dagda's incredibly protective of the Astral Ward. Like I said, she'll come around. Eventually.
This is... Who's that Pokemon? Commander? Oh, Urchik is at your service. Skrit is a big fan of your work. Big fan.
That sounds like
Urchik
timing.
and Gladium, two of my scouts. I've currently tasked them with tracking Lear.
Both of them.
We know that the facet of emotion is working with Mabon to break down the tower's defenses. But his other half is...
not counted for. Glade has an ominous feeling.
As do I. But there are still cryptids feeding on the fractals and their inhabitants. If we don't help them, we treat them no better than Dolyaks. Commander, frankly, I could use your help in the field. The Rift Hunters and my scouts have their hands full.
I'll check in with Rion. See what the hunters need.
So the thing, Mark, with the books and the show is the show did match the books at first. The later seasons did not. And that was because they would not wait for Martin to finish writing the books before making the seasons, because they had gotten scripted. They were originally supposed to do a Star Wars movie, and they just wanted to get to the Star Wars movie. So they just rushed through the story writing. So that way they could get to the Star Wars movie. And the funniest part about that, and everybody was complaining about the story writing as well, especially for those last two seasons. And the funniest part about the whole thing is nobody wanted them on Star Wars, on that Star Wars movie. Nobody wanted them on that Star Wars movie, fan-wise, that is. And I guess enough complaints had gone through that they actually ended up getting fired from doing that Star Wars movie before they could even get started on it. And that happened like right around the end of the Game of Thrones series for the movie, for the TV show. So I find that absolutely hilarious and ironic, and they, in my opinion, they got what was coming to them. they really screwed themselves hard. Ooh, yeah, they did. With that more than the characters they wrote. Yeah, they really did. And because even Martin said those last 2 seasons, especially the final season, would not have turned out. That was not how he wanted it to go at all. None of that would have. Now, I know people were pissed off at the ending of the show, and I can understand. Based on the way they'd written the show up until those last 2 seasons, it didn't make sense. But based on the way the final 2 seasons went, it made sense to end the way it did based on the way they had written the characters for those last 2 seasons. However, you could tell that that's not how Martin would have done it. Did he sign over creative license because he could have told them not? I honestly don't know, Merc. I don't know. I absolutely have no idea. I couldn't even hazard a guess. That was something I would definitely have to look up. But they screwed themselves. Their viewership went down a lot for those last 2 seasons. The final season, I will admit, was, and it's sad to say, story-wise, the final season was definitely not my favorite. But the final season was my favorite because it had the least amount of sex in that show. I think there was probably only 2 or 3 times that there was any kind of sex scene in that season. It had the least amount in the entire series, which I was grateful for. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, that's the only way they could get away with butchering that show. Oh, it was absolutely too rushed. Everybody knew it, but it's because everybody knew they just wanted to get over to doing the Star Wars film. Which, if I recall correctly, I think it was supposed to be Star Wars Solo, was what they were supposed to, the movie they were supposed to do. If I'm remembering correctly, I think it was supposed to be Star Wars Solo. But with the way they were writing that, and then creative differences with even Disney itself, they were fired. And honestly, they deserved it. Even the fans didn't want them on it. Fans, regardless of where they stood with Disney and any Star Wars movie and show up to that point, no fans wanted them on that movie. So, yeah. I guess they took a lesson from the whole Rian Johnson incident for episode 8.
Urchik and Gladium are very honored to work alongside the esteemed Pact Commander.
The title might be a little dated, but I appreciate the
I
sentiment.
wouldn't read his books.
Oh, Urchik could write ballads of your glory. Truly. Gladium, too. Urchik presents Gladium! She is my oldest companion. Urchik can read her movements. Gladium cannot speak or hear Skrit very well, for that matter. The legions were not kind to her. But Gladium is as strong and intelligent as the commander.
It's good to meet you both.
As Urchik and Gladium are glad to meet you.
The KOTOR remaster is never going to happen. It is never going to happen. They've been saying it for more than 20 years. They've been saying it for close to 20 years. It is never going to happen. There is never going to be a KOTOR 3. There's never going to be a remaster. Not going to happen. And at this point, it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. As far as the Old Republic trilogy, probably not going to happen because Disney's in charge of everything now. It's not going to happen. All Disney does is screw everything up with Star Wars. At this point, I'm done with Disney. I'm fucking done with Disney. So, not gonna happen. If they were gonna do anything, they would have done it a long time ago. They wouldn't have waited almost 20 years to do anything. It's not even that, Merc. It's not even that. It's that they're butchering it. They don't care what the fans want. All they care about is pushing their bullshit political ideologies down everybody's fucking throat. If they want to do it in a way that makes sense and flows well with the story, not where it feels like they're trying to shove political ideologies down everybody's fucking throat. That's all they care about. They're the biggest name in Hollywood, and that's all that the rest of Hollywood listens to is fucking Disney. So the rest of the fucking world is dealt with the same thing, and all they think of is that Hollywood is gold, and everything that comes out of Hollywood's mouth is pure gold because they're fed bullshit. I think lighting of beacons are required and overthrowing Disney rules. Yeah, I agree, Shiro. They've butchered Star Wars and Marvel. I agree. I would petition to have Star Wars turned over to Spielberg. Well, one of the things they need to do is get rid of fucking Kathleen Kennedy. She is the absolute worst thing to ever happen to Star Wars. But they do not care what people have to say. They want to do things their way, and if you don't agree with them and you don't like it, well, fuck off. So you know what? Fine. They can fuck off. They're not getting my money. I will not. We canceled our subscription to Disney Plus, and I will not pay for any more Disney movies. I don't care how old or new those movies are. I will not get anything Disney. Not until they stop this bullshit of theirs. But it won't happen. They don't want to. It won't happen. They don't want to get canceled. But the thing is it's a lot of people, regardless of which side of the field you're on, a lot of people are getting fed up. So
you've returned. I'm sure I speak for all the hunters when I say, job well done.
I had a lot of help from Zojja, but thank you. Frode made it sound like things might be urgent.
Dagda may be back on our side, but the Cryptists have stepped up their efforts. Let me show you.
Show me where the rifts are, help wherever I'm able. Yeah, no worries, Shiro. Have a good night. Sleep well, sweet dreams. Thank you again for the raid. And if I don't see you beforehand, have a happy new year. Goober! Am I winning? It depends on what that is. I've heard there are some who may not agree with me on a few points of life who are boycotting Disney now because oh yeah, absolutely. And that's absolutely the case, Mark. Like I said, there's a lot of people, regardless of what your stance is, politically, religiously, ethically, morally, it doesn't matter. There are a ton of people across the board who are fed up with Disney's bullshit. Because they've taken it way too far. And it's not even a subtle thing. It's a right in your face, shoving it down your throat kind of thing. Tofa's winning for sure. Yeah, okay, Mel. No, I'm doing good, Goober. How are you? How was your Christmas? How was your Christmas, Goober? I went to sign into Hulu last night. Apparently, oh, they've been partnered with Disney. They've been partnered with Disney since Disney Plus came out, sweetie. Yeah, they absolutely are partnered with Disney. And I refuse to... I haven't had Hulu in years. I actually stopped using Hulu before they merged with Disney. But then after they merged with Disney, I was like, yep, nope. Done. Because at that time, it was subtle. Christmas was great. Yay! Lots of doing nothing. You know what? Same. We enjoyed spending the time with our kids. Our daughters and our son-in-law came up to visit for Christmas, and they were up here for about 5 days, and it was an absolute blast. So I didn't stream at all last week. Today's my first day back in like a week and a half, and it was an absolute blast having them here. Yeah, I hate Disney. I hate Disney is with Hulu. They're just everywhere. Oh, they are. And I hate the fact that they're trying to buy out everything in Hollywood.
Who's that Pokemon?
Disney wants to have the monopoly and hold the rights to literally everything. And the funny thing is if they keep this shit up, they're gonna go out of business because nobody's gonna buy anything of theirs anymore. Like, honestly, I'm upset with Prime, with Amazon Prime as well, and Prime Video, and then to see that they're the ones backing fucking that dipshit for his new game show. I'm just, oh no. They're gonna spread themselves too far too fast. It's not a matter of them spreading themselves too far too fast. It's a matter of the fact that people are fed up with their bullshit. They want to have a monopoly. They want to own everything. They literally want to own everything. And they're gonna find themselves boycotted fast if they keep this shit up.
Expect me to trust you right away, Peter?
Would that be so bad?
The Amazon, yes, they did, and I refuse to support that. I refuse to support that. That asshat is a fucking clown who does not deserve any kind of support. He is a liar, a manipulator, a cheater, and I don't necessarily mean like relationship wise. I mean cheating people out of stuff. He cheats those games, and the stuff that he's hosted before, he's cheated it in the past, so that way his friends or family wins. He's insanely sexist. So yeah, no, I will not watch that game. And yeah. At this point, I am perfectly content to just, I'm perfectly content to just, watch my British shows on BritBox and Acorn TV. Gonna come down to Disney, Amazon, and Microsoft owning everything. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look at
Well,
this.
you know,
So pretty.
Amazon owns Twitch. Amazon owns Twitch. I enjoy the internet too much as I hate it. Sometimes I go Amish, but dude, you know what, Merc? I'm right there with you. Right there with you.
Are you ready for another try, old friend?
Until I'm rejoined, I don't really think I'm going to be able to control the forge well enough.
I'm afraid we're running out of both time and options. We have to try.
You always manage to talk me into these things. Fine. Come to the forge and we'll lay out the plan.
We could use your help as well, Commander.
Mm-hmm. Super surprised, really? And fun news, I got a small tank set. Ooh, nice.
Chick? Is that you?
Yes. Good. Very good. Urchik isn't very familiar with modern technology. Thank the magnificent shiny that Miss Yuna was able to connect your device to our astral frequency. Gladium and I are still tracking